Do not vox that guy in.
And now we resume In Memoriam.
All right, Roberta Flack.
No.
88. So I will say, of the list that I put together, Roberta Flack is definitely, she outlived everybody at 88. So, an American singer, pianist, and songwriter celebrated for her emotionally rich voice, exquisite piano playing, and elegant fusion of soul, jazz, R&B, and pop. She's best known for her soulful ballads that became tireless classics in the 1970s and beyond. Obviously, she, had a smooth, intimate vocal delivery, classic training on piano blended with gospel roots, which you definitely hear, which I love. So some of the songs, First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, 1972. Right? Originally a folk song, her haunting version won a Grammy Record of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
Boosted by its use in Clint Eastwood's Play Misty for Me.
Exactly. And that is burned, because remember, this was prime theater years for me. I grew up in a movie theater. I saw that movie 1,000 times, and it's burned into my brain because it is used. It was introduced in the movie. Clint Eastwood's directorial debut, Play Misty for Me. Great flick. And yeah. So that's always the first thing I associate it with. So.
Well, what about this? Killing Me Softly with his song, 1973, a massive hit and her signature song. Inspired Lauryn Hill's iconic remake with the Fugees decades later, which kind of caused the revival for her.
Even I've heard about that.
Exactly. And then Feel Like Making Love, 1974, sensual and jazzy, another number one.
Feel Like Making Love. So smooth.
So smooth.
I mean, I feel like making love to this mic.
I know, right? There you go. I can leave you two alone if you'd like. Where Is the Love? One of many hits from her legendary vocal partnership with Donny Hathaway.
Yeah.
Paved the way for female singer-songwriters with artistic control and subtlety. So there are lots and lots and lots of people influenced by her. But first, I'm going to allow you to weigh in on Roberta Flack, who just an incredible vocalist. I mean, I can't even tell you, sultry, sexy, smooth, and I love it.
I have to say, it is primarily, now I did have records by various artists of that day who, R&B singers. I did not have any of Roberta Flack's, but still the songs that everybody knows are so iconic, and she was so damn good. And here, the shocking part is, when did she die? I never even heard about it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know when it was. It wasn't that, I think it was earlier this year. I mean, these are all from 2025. So I think it was just a little bit, but I don't know what month.
Yeah, no, I'm completely shocked because I know we've lost a lot of people this year. I just didn't know she was one of them. So.
Yeah, very sad. So some people that she influenced, Erykah Badu, Flack's sense of intimacy and poetic charm is deeply felt in her phrasing and mood. Lauryn Hill, of course, right? Killing Me Softly was famously covered, introducing Flack's legacy to a new generation, which I just kind of said. But Alicia Keys often cited her as an influence. Both are pianist singers who blend classical and soul. I mean, Alicia Keys, I can't even. Indie-RE, so her earthy, introspective songwriting is in direct lineage with Flack's emotional, direct, minimalistic approach. Then we also have some pop singer-songwriters, Norah Jones, which you can hear, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Flack's understated, gender-crossing style can be heard in Jones's blend of jazz, soul, and pop. Carole King, one of your faves, one of everyone's faves, hopefully. While contemporaries, they influenced each other. Both helped reshape expectations for female singer-songwriters in the 70s. Corinne Bailey Rae echoes Flack's gentle...
the gentleness of Flack's toy boat,
Fuck me. Okay, Corinne Bailey Rae echoes Flack's gentle soul storytelling, especially in tracks like a Star. Obviously, a very, very heavy influence on the music scene. Amazing vocals, amazing legacy, and you can hear it, obviously, if you listen to any of the people who follow in her footsteps or who were inspired by her. So this one is going to hurt again. Marianne Faithfull.
Oh, wow.
Lost at age 78. an English singer, songwriter, actress, and one of rock's most enduring and complex figures, rising to fame in the swinging London scene of the 1960s. She transitioned from pop ingenue to a gritty, world-weary artist with a voice and career shaped by passion, tragedy, addiction, and reinvention.
And probably a lot of cigarettes.
Probably a lot of cigarettes. And what was her debut single? Do you happen to know?
Was it As Tears Go By?
That's correct. In 1964, written by...
I believe that was the first song that Mick Jagger and Keith Richards were forced to write together.
And Oldham.
And
Absolutely.
and Andrew Oldham. That's right. Yeah,
absolutely.
Because a lot of the early Stones. One of the first things that comes to mind is "Time Is on My Side," but they didn't write that. They did write "As Tears Go By" with Andrew Oldham. Yeah.
And she became a fashion icon and fixture in the London music scene. She also dated Mick Jagger for 4 years, becoming deeply entwined with the Rolling Stones' mythology. And going to move on from her storied past. I don't want to talk about that, but let's talk about her comeback and reinvention.
I remember it well. Yeah.
Late 1970s through 1980s, Broken English, 1979, her defining album merging punk, new wave, and confessional lyrics. That's one of my favorite things about her, those confessional lyrics. I
remember her appearances. I remember the Broken English album. Thankfully, my radio station would play it. Good shit, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Songs like
Why'd You Do It?
Why'd You Do It? Yeah. And
Broken English.
Exactly. Introduce a raw, smoky voice, like you said, shaped by life's wear, it says, and a lot of Marlboro Reds. I'm just kidding. And obviously was lauded by critics as one of the greatest comebacks in history.
Definitely not Marlboro Reds. They have filters. So
that's true. They have filters.
Definitely something unfiltered.
Albums like Dangerous Acquaintances, 1981, and A Child's Adventure, 1983, continued her exploration of literate, edgy music, and she's known for literary references, which I also love. Storytelling and collaborations with artists like Nick Cave, PJ Harvey, and Hal Wilner, starring in theater productions and films, including her work with Harold Pinter and Jean-Luc Godard.
Oh, sorry.
So, and then a few things I also want to say. Later career highlights: the 20th and the 21st century include Strange Weather, 1987, moody reinterpretation of jazz and blues. Before the Poison, 2005, dark and atmospheric, produced by PJ Harvey and Nick Cave. You know how good that is. Give My Love to London, 2014, critically praised return to form. Now, I haven't spent a lot of time listening to that, but I feel like I should. She Walks in Beauty, 2021.
Wow.
Recitations of romantic poetry set to music. We both need to listen to that. Imagine, right? True survivor of rock world, artist, muse, rebel poet. Voice evolved from angelic soprano to weathered, smoky alto, now unmistakable and iconic. Lots of people influenced by Marianne Faithfull. Do you want to say a couple words about her?
Well, I did not know she had been making these latter day. I'm glad there's one detail that got left out that I get to add.
Oh, excellent!
But I was not aware of these latter day albums, and I'm sure they're great because she's got kind of voice that doesn't matter how fucking old you get, you're still going to be able to do it, you know. Because that voice doesn't. Well, of course, she sang different in the beginning, but I got used to her during the Broken English phase and her appearances on like Saturday Night Live and stuff and the radio. But this later thing that you were talking about, what's it called? The very last one?
She Walks in Beauty.
She Walks in 2021, you say?
2021.
2020. Wow, okay. That is a must listen because it's shocking how some of these artists are coming out that have been around for fucking ever. Since the 60s. They're coming out with records that are damn good and respectable, like Iggy Pop, like the Rolling Stones, like this brand new Alice Cooper thing. The group got together after 51 years of putting it up, and it's great. So I really got to hear that, Marianne Faithfull. Oh, but the thing that didn't get mentioned, a certain band called Metallica, The Memory Remains. There's a lady that's supposed to be the little tin goddess, the diva of the song. La 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 la. That's Marianne Faithfull. Incredible. She has the perfect voice for that. Of course. However old Marianne Faithfull was at the time, this lady is probably supposed to be older, but again, with a brilliantly gritty voice like hers and so smoky. She pulled it off fantastically. So people have been listening to Marianne Faithfull who probably don't even know it.
They probably don't even know it. I agree with you. Or
unless I'm wrong about that.
Well, they could also be listening to covers
Yeah.
and not know that it's, obviously hers, because a lot of these songs are covered again and again by people, famous or soon to be or may never be famous. So some of the people that she influenced: Patti Smith, both channel poetry and punk spirit. And Smith has cited Faithfull's reinvention as a personal inspiration.
Absolutely, yeah.
Susie Sue of Susie and the Banshees, her icy, emotional, raw delivery echoes Faithfull's broken English era. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Courtney Love has referenced Faithfull as an icon of vulnerability and rage, which clearly that's what Courtney Love picked up on.
I think she was going for that.
I think she certainly was. And then PJ Harvey, the emotional intensity and vocal range from tenderness to anger draws a line back to Faithfull's darker work. I definitely can hear that. Why is that funny?
That's not funny. It's something, every time someone mentions PJ Harvey, somebody said something about her once, and it just makes me laugh every time I hear it. So,
wow. Okay, Nick Cave collaborated with Faithfull and cited her storytelling and voice as profound influences on his own moody gothic songwriting. Tori Amos shares Faithfull's confessional, confrontational lyricism, which I love. Bat for Lashes, which is Natasha Khan, embraces mystical, theatrical femininity in a way reminiscent of Faithfull's early otherworldliness. I agree with that. Lana Del Rey channeling melancholy glamour, addiction narratives, and torch singer mystique, much like Faithfull in her broken English and Dangerous Acquaintances eras. And then Florence Welch of Florence and the Machines, her blend of drama, vulnerability, and vintage aesthetics absolutely shows shades of Faithfull's theatrical side. Lucinda Williams combines personal lyrics with a rugged, world-weary voice akin to Faithfull's later years. If you have not listened to Lucinda Williams, you should. We also have Metallica, Faithfull guest on their song.
Oh, there it is.
The Memory Remains.
Okay.
I was going to say 1997, adding her spectral voice to their heavy sounds. Beck covered As Tears Go By live in homage. And then Jarvis Cocker wrote songs for Faithfull and credited her storytelling and bravery as formative influences. Wow.
It's interesting that they of course, I was glad I wasn't debunked about the Memory Remains thing, that was indeed Marianne Faithfull, because who the hell else could it be? If you've ever heard the song, there's only one person it could be.
Yeah.
With that spectral voice. I love that. If you've ever read, like, Dickens' Great Expectations, you picture Miss Havisham. This is the subject of this song,
Yes.
And Marianne Faithfull just knocks that shit out of the park.
She does.
Yep.
All right, so I'm just going to keep going. I mean, this is some good shit. I hope you're enjoying this, David.
It's a very, I'm not going to say lively topic, but
it's not. It's a not lively.
Yes,
it's an
unalive topic.
Oh shit!
With all due respect to the
all due respect. So here we go. Brian Wilson. Beach Boys,
for heaven's sakes! Yeah,
1982.
That was a shockwave. Where it's barely just starting to settle when we lost Ozzy.
An American composer, producer, singer, and founding member of the Beach Boys. He's widely regarded as one of the greatest musical geniuses of the 20th century, a visionary who shaped and reshaped pop music through his emotional depth, technical innovation, and studio wizardry. This man.
Amen. Yeah.
Co-founded the Beach Boys in 1961 with brothers Carl and Dennis and cousin Mike Love and friend Al Jardine. Wrote, arranged, and produced nearly all of the Beach Boys' early material, known for lush harmonies, yes, innovative studio production, yes, and deep emotional vulnerability. So, Beach Boys era, early hits, Right Surfing USA, Fun, 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 I Get Around, helped create the California surf sound. But then he grew beyond it pretty fast, pushed the band and pop music to new artistic heights with Pet Sounds, 1966, a landmark album, songs like God Only Knows, I Can't.
I'm telling you.
I just lose it. Just thinking of the song makes me kind of
It's
weepy.
dangerous to have microphones in your face and to be rolling, although we're not live, and bring that subject up, because we're likely to get verklempt here.
Wouldn't it be nice? And Caroline, no. Revered by Paul McCartney, who called it the greatest album ever made. Groundbreaking.
A lot of ground getting baked tonight.
Fuck you. Where's the love, man? groundbreaking use of orchestration, modular songwriting, and emotional candor. Then there's Smile Project. Intended to follow Pet Sounds, Smile was ambitious psychedelic concept album, abandoned in 1967 because of his deteriorating condition and band tensions. Became one of rock's greatest lost albums until Wilson released the finished version in...
Oh, you got me there.
2004.
Shit.
So, solo career and redemption. Released several solo albums, including Brian Wilson, 1988, Imagination, 1998, Smile, 2004, right, the long-delayed masterpiece, reimagined and completed, and That Lucky Old Son, 2008, a nostalgic conceptual suite about California life.
Wow.
He toured extensively, performing Pet Sounds in full with a tight backing band, respected as a living legend until obviously we lost him, despite lingering personal health and challenges. He pioneered multi-track recording, complex vocal arrangements, and emotional songwriting, influenced generations, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Known for his perfect pitch, deep melancholy, and obsessive pursuit of sonic beauty. His life is a profound story of creative brilliance, fragility, and resilience.
Yes.
So Brian Wilson, a huge, huge, huge loss for music. And essential songs, God Only Knows, Good Vibrations, Surf's Up, In My Room, Heroes and Villains, Love and Mercy, which was solo. What can you say about Brian Wilson? I mean, I wish he wasn't so troubled. I wish he hadn't struggled so much. But sometimes out of struggles comes this profound beauty, which we were all alive to see and is going to be around forever. And just beautiful classics. I was listening to them again as I do this. I was listening to all these bands and just absolutely moved. He's an absolute genius.
Yeah, the Beach Boys are so incredible, and it's you could easily overlook it if AM radio and you turn on your transistor and fun is on. But even within those songs, and I do not like music because of how hard it is to make or any bullshit like that. I'm not into wonky theory. But since Brian Wilson passed, I've been seeing a lot of stuff online, which I would ordinarily be like, well, whatever, But exposing just how brilliant and exposing, showing the layers of everything that Brian Wilson was doing. I mean, and I was like, good Lord, is there anything this man didn't know or couldn't do and didn't do? And you've got these, just what seemed to be wild and woolly early rock and roll songs, which are actually masterpieces. And then you get to stuff like God Only Knows and, and songs like and even Surfer Girl. So brilliant. There's so much brilliance in there. This was honestly far, and I love early rock and roll. I love, Chuck Berry. I love Buddy Holly. I love all that stuff. But this was so far beyond what anybody was doing before. It was a quantum leap, really, and the Beatles were along with it, but kind of a little bit behind, Yeah. But it's hard to overstate just how ingenious Brian Wilson was and what a loss it is. And when he passed, it was known. I mean, the world was in absolute shock, and it's been absolute legends are going this year. Yeah, so, I think Brian Wilson, I'm just going to say, is way up there, and I'm surprised. I mean, there was a lot of beautiful things said about Brian Wilson. I feel like, maybe if he'd been kind of out there a little bit more, he's reclusive, and he had a very difficult life and a very difficult, I'm sure, end to his life. So I think if he'd been out in the scene more, recorded songs more, played out, I think it would be different. But I think people are like, oh my God, he's been lost for years and now he's actually gone. His impact, I think it absolutely changed popular music forever. Well, wait till I tell you. Yeah. Wait till I tell you all the people he influenced. Are you ready? Uh-huh. The Beatles. Of course. Pet Sounds directly inspired Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Paul McCartney cited again, as we mentioned, God Only Knows as the greatest song ever written. George Martin, Beatles producer, took cues from Wilson's orchestration and experimental layering. So think of the fact that he's part of the Beatles, right? Fleetwood Mac, Lindsey Buckingham studied Wilson's harmonies and production to shape Tuscan Rumors. David Bowie said Wilson's ambition and fragility gave him the courage to explore outsider beauty. Elliott Smith, deeply influenced by Wilson's lush harmonies and melancholic optimism. We have the Animal Collective blended experimental pop with harmony-rich soundscapes in a way directly descended from Smile. We also have Todd Rundgren,
called Wilson a true architect of pop harmony. His album A Wizard, A True Star mirrors Wilson's modular, genre-bending approach. We have Cheap Trick, Jellyfish, The Posies, Fountains of Wayne, classic power pop acts drawing from Beach Boys style vocals and hooks. And the list goes on and on. Those are just some, but I could go on for days with the people. All right, so Garth Hudson of the band.
Oh, so there really was a Hudson.
Yes. Yes. He didn't belong in the Wilson era, but he does belong in his own. He was lost at 87.
Wow.
A Canadian multi-instrumentalist, best known as the organist and keyboardist of the band, one of the most influential rock groups of the late 60s and 70s. He is widely regarded as the group's secret weapon, a virtuoso who brought classical jazz and avant-garde sensibilities to their raw, rootsy sound. And I'm telling you, man, I was listening to them, and he really, really elevates that music and really adds this musicality that otherwise I don't know if it's great music in and of itself, because that rock rootsy thing, but boy, does it ever just reel you in. It's so magnetic. He's known for playing organ, piano, accordion, saxophone, and synthesizers. He's the band's musical architect, adding deep complexity and mood to their arrangement. So the band obviously was around from 1968 to 1976, and of course they had reunions later. And they were originally, you probably know this, Bob Dylan's backing group.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
They were the Hawks. And then, of course, they became legends in their own right. So albums featuring Garth's signature sound, music from the Big Pink, 1968, obviously The Weight, Chest Fever, right? Garth's swirling organ intro on Chest Fever is iconic. The band 1969 Up on Cripple Creek, The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down. Stage Fright, Cahoots, Northern Lights, Southern Cross, all of that, right? Those are some of the albums that feature his signature sound. And Hudson's Lowry organ gave the band a church-like haunting character, contrasting beautifully with their roots rock grit, which I agree. And did you know that he studied Bach, jazz, and modern classical music?
I certainly did not, no.
And often improvised intricate passages live and in the studio, influenced so many people. And the interesting part is he made the organ a lead instrument in rock in a way that few had done before him. So he insisted on being paid as a consulting engineer to justify joining a rock group to his classically inclined family.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
How do I sell this to the snobs? You know?
Exactly. He rarely sang, but was an essential creative force behind their arrangements. And he continued to collaborate after the band ended with Levon Helm, Robbie Robertson, and others. He played on albums by Leonard Cohen, Norah Jones, Elton John, Nico Case, and many more. And he released 2 solo works, including The Sea to the North in 2001, which was ambient, experimental, and cinematic. And then in 2010, Live at the Wolf, duo performances with his late wife, Maud Hudson. So he was the last surviving member.
I was going to say all of the band are gone, definitely. Yeah.
And he is still considered one of the greatest keyboarders in rock history.
Well,
he helped define the term Americana before it was even a term.
Exactly. And, I think they did a lot to popularize Americana, but they're just an awesome rock and roll group, too. I mean, look at the musicians you have. Robbie and vocalist, Robbie Robertson, great songwriter, singer-songwriter. Levon Helm, one of the best drummer singers ever.
Amazing.
Garth Hudson. I mean, it's just Rick Danko. It's an incredible group, and I did not know about Garth Hudson passing. I knew they were all gone. It seemed like it was longer ago. But again, we're far into the year, aren't we? So.
I know we're already in July, almost August. So
we've had our share of deaths. Thank you.
So many. So we could just do without some. We're set.
That's enough for the whole year.
That's enough.
We got it out of the way.
Yeah. We took care of it. So people that he influenced: keyboardist and instrumentalist. Benmont Tench from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers cited Hudson's soulful, layered playing as a core influence on how he approached organ textures. And then you've got Ray Manzarek, The Doors. While his style was more psychedelic, he shared that Hudson's multi-layered keyboard vision and bass-on-keys technique influenced him. Greg Allman of the Allman Brothers Band, the gospel-influenced organ lines and improvisational feel reflect the roots rock jazz fusion ethos that was created by, again, Hudson. Booker T. Jones, though a peer, he credited the band and Hudson in particular for expanding the role of the organ in rock and roll soul music.
Booker T, no kidding. Wow.
I know. And then ready for this?
Yeah.
Rick Wakeman.
Whoa.
And Tony Banks, yes, in Genesis. Hudson's influence helped show progressive rock keyboardists that emotions and restraint could be as powerful as speed and complexity. Thank God. Americana and roots rock musicians that they influenced. Elvis Costello frequently praised his work on music from Big Pink as a template for genre fusion and song-focused playing. You've got Wilco. Jeff Tweedy said the band and Garth Hudson in particular shaped their blending of experimental and roots styles. I knew these had to be in here. The Lumineers and Mumford and Sons. Their folk rock revival sound draws indirectly from Hudson's rich Americana textures. Levon Helm band / Dirt Farmer era Americana artists, right? Many of Helm's collaborators post-band carried Hudson's influence in their arrangements and ensemble playing. Ready? Art rock and alternative artists. None of these are going to surprise you. Kate Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she played, Kate Bush. Hudson played on her The Red Shoes album. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
And she cited the band's cinematic instrumentation as formative. Rufus Wainwright.
Wow.
Known for orchestral arrangements that reflect Hudson's blend of romantic classic influence and folk rock earthiness. And then these bands, I'm not sure if you're aware of them, but My Morning Jacket and Fleet Foxes, their lush, harmony-rich, and analog-centric sound owes much to the band and Hudson's approach.
I'll tell you, it reminds me, I have to go back and watch The Last Waltz again, because it is, the last concert by the band with guest stars like everybody who was everybody in that.
Everybody, yeah.
I have to go back and watch that because it's absolutely brilliant, and they were an incredible band.
Absolutely an incredible band. And, it's funny because a lot of people are always surprised that I like them, but I don't know why. I like the roots. I like the rockiness. What's interesting is I'm thinking of this, and they weren't on here, but if you listen to Counting Crows, who are one of my favorite bands, I feel like there's a lot of influence in their music. I feel like there's just so much. I mean, even some of the organ sounds, some of the vocal technique, all of that. So I think it's there. There's not as many harmonies in Counting Crows music, but I think there's a lot of that sensibility. And if you're not familiar with Counting Crows, go listen to August and Everything After.
I just recently listened to, a few months ago, a double live album called After the Flood. It's Bob Dylan and the band. And they do Dylan songs, but they do a lot of band songs too. And it's really so good. They're incredible live,
So just quick question. This whole Bob Dylan, the band thing, does Bob Dylan sing?
Yeah.
Then I'm out.
I don't care if he's there.
I don't care. He can be there like playing a guitar and smiling at people. Or he doesn't do that, frowning at people. But if he's singing, I got to go. I'm out. So this is the last person we're covering today. Now, this doesn't mean that this is the last person that we lost, but I just had to pick a select few because we would
can do a part two.
Well, we could, but we've been would literally do this for the next 16 hours. So Mick Ralphs.
Oh no, that's right.
Bad
yes.
Company and Mott the Hoople. He lost him at 81. An English rock guitarist and songwriter, best known as the founding member of Mott the Hoople and Bad Company. His playing is characterized by chunky riffs, tight rhythm work, and a knack for writing hook-driven hard rock songs. So what are his career highlights? Well, Mott the Hoople, 1969 to 1973. He helped define the band's glam rock meets blues rock sound. And he wrote and played on key tracks like Rock and Roll Queen and Ready for Love, which he later re-recorded with
Bad Company.
That's right. The band's fortunes rose dramatically after David Bowie gave them All the Young Dudes in 1972, which Ralphs played guitar on. Wow. Ralphs left the band in 1973 just as they reached peak fame. Bad timing. Bad Company, 1973 to 1982, and of course there were reunions. Co-founded Bad Company with Paul Rodgers.
Yeah, no.
I love
she's
Paul Rodgers.
she's gazing at the sky.
I love that voice. That's the best voice. Of Free at the time, Simon Kirke and Boz Burrell helped define arena rock.
And I was surprised to recently find Boz Burrell was from King Crimson. That shocked me.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a master. That's why. I mean, you can only be in that band if you're a master. Helped define arena rock with tight bluesy hard rock built around memorable riffs and melodies. Wrote or co-wrote some of Bad Company's most enduring songs. Can't Get Enough, Feel Like Making Love, Moving On, Ready for Love, which was reworked from Mott, as we mentioned. His guitar style was solid, song-oriented, never overly flashy, and always melodic. That's one of my favorite parts.
As a great example of that, if I might.
Please.
At the outro, that long jam outro of Feel Like Making Love, he's not doing any wonky, shreddy bullshit, but he's playing some of the hottest, stingingest sounding licks. And it's beautiful. It's like it just goes on and like, yeah, keep going, baby.
But you don't want it to
jam.
stop.
No,
Yeah,
they don't cut it off. They let it play itself out. It's really great.
It's really great.
And he was a hell of a songwriter. Put them on the map with Can't Get Enough. That was like first album. We're this new group. You know us. We're kind of a super group because you know us from other groups.
Right.
Bad Company is definitely counts as a super group.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
And very, very successful one. I think they're the first artists on Led Zeppelin's Swan Song label.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I do believe that's
I believe
true.
you.
Yeah. Either that or I'm wrong. But I think they were the first.
Either that or you're wrong.
They did have, they are
one or
on
the other.
Led Zeppelin's label, Swan Song.
His guitar style, just in case you were wondering, was blues-based hard rock with a focus on tone and groove. Hello, of course. Known for tasteful solos, tight riffing, and blending rhythm and lead seamlessly, he often played Gibson, Les Pauls, and Telecasters through Marshall. Just in case you were wondering.
I never saw him play Telecaster.
He toured with Paul Rodgers and Bad Company again in 2000s and 2010s. He released a solo album, by the way, Take This, in 1984. He's a key figure in the evolution of British hard rock, helped shape the sounds of glam rock with classic rock and arena rock through Bad Company. And as you mentioned, his songwriting and riff work are still foundational on rock radio and playlists today.
Oh, yes, they are.
100%. So, yeah, and there's so many people that were influenced by Mick Ralphs as well. So hard rock and classic rock guitarist Joe Elliott, Def Leppard. Def Leppard's melodic hard rock owes a debt to Ralph's riff-centric and vocal guitar style. Slash, Guns N' Roses, Slash's bluesy yet melodic playing shares elements of Ralph's approach, especially in crafting solos that sing, which, again, that's definitely what he's known for. Richie Sambora, Bon Jovi. Sambora's anthemic rock sound and riff-driven songs are stylistically close to Ralph's blueprint. Billy Gibbons, ZZ Top. Though more Texas blues, Gibbons and Ralph share that mix of heavy riffing with melody. Arena rock of the 70s, and 70s revivalist, rather. Joe Bonamassa. Blues rock guitarists like Bonamassa have acknowledged the influence of 70s players, including Ralph's, for a fusion of rock energy and blues rock. Miles Kennedy, after Bridge, known for melodic yet heavy guitar work. Guitar style echoes the classic rock template Ralph's helped popularize. Gary Rossington, Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Hey.
While Southern rock-oriented, Rossington's blend of melody and grit shares a lineage with Ralph's. And then finally, Paul Rodgers, obviously. Bad Company and Free, close collaborator. The vocal phrasing that Paul Rodgers uses and songwriting were deeply linked to Ralph's guitar work. And then Brian Johnson of AC/DC. Classic hard rock vocals and song structure from this era draw on the same powerful riff-based rock foundations.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, obviously, I consider, call me a bigot, but I consider Bad Company a great deal more sophisticated than AC/DC. But
100%.
when they want to do simple chunka rock, they do it very, very well. But
What kind of rock?
Chunka, it's like...
What kind was that?
The chunka kind.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Chunka rock. If you want to play chunka rock, I mean, I think Bad Company does that quite well. But obviously, much sophisticated, beautiful, the amazing ballads.
Is that an industry term? Chunka?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Do a search for it. Yeah, it's. It should be a new genre. I mean, there's genres for everything. There's like genres like bass and drum. What the fuck does that even mean?
We chunka
yeah,
now.
Chunka rock.
Okay.
Was it chunka rock? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There it is.
Search on Apple. Tell them.
I'm looking right now for it. Looking.
She's actually looking. If Chunka, follow it. Tell them, give me recommendations of Chunka rock.
I'm gonna do it.
And you were talking about people being surprised at what you like.
Yes.
Before.
Yes.
I'm always surprised. I'm sometimes surprised too because you seem like. I mean, I don't want to use the word snob because it's not great, but
Oh
like,
my God.
for some reason I don't expect you to like Chunka rock, like Van Halen. That surprises me. Motley Crue. It surprises me you like Motley Crue for some reason.
I play rock music.
I know you play rock, but Motley Crue, and you sneer at Kiss, but you like Motley Crue. That's
Not the same.
Yeah.
Not the same. Now, I will say, I'm in being honest, and you brought it up, and you fucking challenged my ass.
I really shouldn't have.
So let's do this.
I already regret it.
So I immediately. So here's the thing. You are right. Motley Crue is not sophisticated. They're not any of that. Remember how I told you earlier, if it hits you at the right time?
Yeah.
That's what it hit me. I was really young. I heard it and I went, what the fuck is that? And then I heard the song, I'm on my way.
Nice tune.
I mean, that song totally got me. And then I heard the girls, 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 right? And I'm, even though that's not, it just was fucking hypnotic. Then I go back to, you know, I mean, there's so many. Dr. Feelgood.
Dr.
I mean,
Feelgood, yeah, that's,
I can't.
They were so on fire with Dr. Feelgood and all that coming back and
It's just
getting off the drugs and Kickstart My Heart. I mean, everybody.
Yeah, Kickstart
that was their
My
time.
Heart. I just,
You know,
I don't know how you. I don't know how you hear that and don't like it. And then Van Halen is a whole other matter. I don't know how you. It's that glam rock thing. And I like the glam rock thing. So, I mean, I grew up in that time. So, obviously, I like Motley Crue. I like Van Halen. If you look at David Lee Roth, he was very, you know, glam. He was very, you know, he had that feminine energy, which I really liked. So did Vince Neil. You know, I just liked that. So that was the kind of thing I grew up in. So you're right. I mean, are they akin to Kiss? Not really. I feel like maybe, so Kiss is here and maybe Motley Crue is right there. Not very far away. But when I saw Kiss, I rolled my eyes and was like, I don't even care. What is that? And then I heard it and I was like, no.
We're actually similar in this way, I think, because the stuff we came up with, the glam punk or whatever the hell stuff that we came up with, it's the same except for I'm from an earlier time. It's why Kiss is always special to me because, you know, all I was looking for was some rock and roll, man, and Kiss was there, the Runaways were there. I love all that shit.
Well, when you think about it, what was on MTV for me, that's the stuff that was, I mean, they were just hitting me over the head with Van Halen, hitting me over the head with Motley Crue. And while there was Kiss, as soon as I saw them, I was like, I don't know what that is. I'm out. I can't. I liked the girly thing, but that just looked ridiculous with the big tongue and the blood. It was too much for me. And then the big boots. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Why can't you just look like women like the rest of them? That's hot. So
we were all about the glam, you know, and the glam and the prog back then. Angel and fucking, you know, whoever was around.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Sweet and everything. And we loved that shit. And there's no overstating rather, the importance, you know.
I agree. And the thing is you're going to like what you like when you hear it. I mean, if you hear it at 10, if you hear it at 15, those are formidable times and they're going to stay with you. I mean, the fact that my first big rock concert is besides The Police, which was my first concert ever when I was 10. I did not go alone. But I think when I was 16, a friend and I went to the Motley Crue concert, the Girls, Girls, Girls tour, and Whitesnake opened for them. It was like a fucking dream come true.
Right.
I had David Coverdale, that beautiful, gorgeous man at the time, and that beautiful, sexy voice. And then I had Vince Neil, not a sexy voice, but a fucking showman. So he's up there running around with his cuteness, doing his little thing. Not exactly what I look for today, but at the time, very, very cute. So, I mean, that was a big deal. I sat around with people with like a lot of tats and black, and I was like, hey, I'm 16. I probably shouldn't be here.
Wow.
We waited for like 4 hours to buy tickets. Then we bought tickets. It was a thing. It was a thing.
It's such a beautiful thing when you go to a concert, and you were going to them in the 80s. I was going into the 70s, where the opening act is somebody friggin' incredible.
I mean,
you go to see such and such, and you realize, oh wow, I'm seeing somebody else. You know? I mean, going to see Boston, and who's that? Sammy Hagar open for him.
What?
I mean, what the hell? You know, same thing. Only a little bit later, you had that with that Whitesnake. That sounds like a great double bill.
It was so good.
Wow.
It was so good. Yeah, I mean, but I think it's just, I do think if it was a different time and if they were wearing the shit that Kiss wore, I'd be out. But I do think there's better musicality for me anyway with Motley Crue, but they're not separated by much.
No, well,
so I'm being honest.
That's nice and honest of you.
Yeah, they're not separated by much. But again, that's the deal. So very interesting. I mean, we lost a lot of really great people, and they leave a legacy that, you know, is indelible, and they have changed music history forever in one way or another. And I just think it's important that we recognize some. We can't recognize all of them because there are literally dozens of people who we've lost. But I try to do some of the people that I think you and I are familiar with, maybe most familiar with and influential on us, or people that we really like. So hopefully this was enjoyable to you. I mean, we've been talking for a very long time.
And there are many others, and if anybody's out there thinking, well, you didn't mention like George Quimans from, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, from Golden Earring, just passed. It's endless, so we can't get to everybody, and maybe we will at another time. But
right. There could be part 3 or 4.
A lot of people who mean a lot to somebody out there.
Right.
We lost this year, and it's only July, too, so it's time we slow it down a little bit, I think.
It really is. It's time, because we had them in 3s, and we just had 3, so let's just stop for a while. Let's just stop. But So that was, even though it was sad, still kind of beautiful, right? So, again, without sadness, there can be no true joy. So here we are in Music Heals. So if you're sad about any of these people, go listen to their music and it will help heal you. But now that we've talked about all this, we have recognized the talents of many. That only leaves for you to say,
let's fly this coop.
This has been Winging It, a presentation of Birds of a Feather on What the Flock Radio.